okay, get the fuck out of here, because I'm going to be talking some dirty shit about your dad.
God. Remember, I edit this shit.
I know, but like, Reagan.
Okay, bye. Louie, you don't want to hear this. Come on.
Hey guys, I look a little bit like a prostitute today, thanks to Reagan, and she did my hair and makeup, and I'm not used to having this much makeup on, so I might hit the neighborhood corner in a little bit, get some cash, you know, for all those Amazon purchases I make. Just so y'all know, it's me. If you don't know who I am, then fucking look on the podcast title. I've always been this way. That's the podcast you're listening to. I've been drinking for several hours as per my daughter's request. And per my husband's request, this podcast is not going to be boring like my last one, which is kind of what he told me. He said, you need to be funny. You were born to be funny. And I'm like, wah, wah, wah. He does a lot of this, and really I want to hear him, I want to hear him being quiet. I'm going to talk shit about Michael for the next few minutes. And Michael, maybe this is about where you will want to turn it off, because I'm going to talk some mad shit about you. All right, so the idea of this, for this podcast rather, started this morning when I was getting ready to run some errands, and he hey girls me, you know. And as I've said before, when he says hey girl, it means come over here and show me how sexy I am, meaning he is. Not that I'm sexy, just him. Anyway, so he's hey girling me this morning, but I had errands to run. And this is the quote. He goes, let's have sex right now because I might die before you get home from your errands. And he said then, he also said, if I do die, you'll regret not having sex this one last time. And I said, you know, I don't think I will regret having sex, but I will start looking for the life insurance policy if I come home and you're dead. I mean, I won't be happy that you're dead, but if you are, I mean, a little money, cushion the blow, wouldn't be the worst thing. I mean, okay, that sounds fucked up. I want Michael to live a long time. That's not what I'm saying. What I mean is that if he does die and I'm left with a whole bunch of money, I will use that money for all good things. I don't promise that I'll use it for anything good. Anyway, I'm going to go out on a little limb here and say that women don't wake up in the morning dreaming about giving blowjobs. I just don't think that it's something that I do. And if anybody listening wakes up thinking about that, I mean, I hope you have some really nice jewelry. I mean, that's all I gotta say. If you're waking up thinking about that, God bless you, and I hope you're dripping in diamonds. Because, I mean, it takes a special woman to wake up thinking about that. Anyway, we do not wake up thinking about that. We don't wake up thinking about having sex. Men, they wake up with a boner. Now, I'm not saying that Michael wakes up with a boner, because usually he wakes up before me, and I don't see what's going on. But if one of y'all see him out and about, you can ask him on the street if he wakes up with a boner. I'm sure he'll be happy to answer any and all of your questions. So, you know, men in general, maybe Michael, maybe not, I don't know, wake up in the morning with a boner. They are ready. They come, their eye goes, and they're ready for sex. Okay, guys. And I don't mean guys, man, I mean like listeners or whoever the fuck. Women don't want that first thing in the morning. The only liquid we want in our mouths in the morning is coffee. So if you're a man and you're listening and you're not a complete dumb fuck, bring your wife a cup of coffee, and then maybe in an hour or so, she'll want to fuck you. Probably not, but maybe. If you bring her coffee, your chances are better incrementally. And if you don't fuck it up, like you can't just bring the coffee made the wrong way. Okay? Michael should know by now how I want my coffee, but he still has never brought it to me in the morning. I mean, what the actual fuck? Oh, I take that back. The only time he has brought me coffee is when we're on vacations because he thinks coffee equals sex. So at some point he realizes that's the only acceptable liquid in the mouth early in the morning. Okay? I mean, I don't know if we need to put on a bumper sticker or whatever, but stop waking me up first thing in the morning. It's annoying. And I guess I should be thankful that Michael, and for you other listeners out there, that the men in your lives wake up and they're horny from the time they wake up to the time they go to sleep. I guess we should be thankful. I'm not thankful for that. I'm thankful that Michael thinks about me. Although I'm not sure if when he's horny he's thinking about me or just what I can provide. I don't know. You know what? We're 30 years in. I'm not going to ask. I think it's probably a bad idea to ask. So I'm just going to assume that he adores me and all that other bullshit that goes along with that. Another thing that annoys me about Michael, and this is all sex related, by the way, and if you don't want to hear about sex, cut the show off and go, I don't know, go do something else. Whatever. I cannot ever take a shower right before bed. If I take a shower right before bed, Michael thinks that is the green light for sex. For some reason, he thinks that if I'm clean, I immediately want to be fouled by his nastiness 45 seconds after I've finally had time to take a shower for that day. And newsflash, I don't. I would like to be able to stay clean for at least a couple hours after I've taken a shower. Unless we're on a vacation and then, you got to throw them a boner because if they start the day happy, blah, 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 whatever. It's vacation sex. It doesn't even count, I don't think. You know what? I don't even make any fucking sense right now. But he comes home, he can be a complete dickhead all day, as I've said before, and expect sex and think, ooh, I just can't do that. But I will say that if I have to do it, and I mean, occasionally I want to do it. I mean, there are full moons once a month, whatever. But if I do know that is inevitable, sex is inevitable, I will make what I call a honey-do-me list. And the honey-do-me list can be anything from mowing the grass, cleaning the kitchen, folding laundry, whatever, going to the grocery store, whatever, fixing some shit in the house. He's not really a handyman, but I try to make him feel good about himself, so I put it on the list. So if the honey-do-me list is complete, and by the way, a honey-do-me list cannot be in a text. I have to, you, me, whatever, have to write it on a piece of paper in a marker and put like little check boxes so he can check after he's completed each task. And at the end of the day, I have to give up 2 or 3 minutes of my time, and he spent several hours doing all the shit I didn't want to do. That's a winner. A funny thing Michael says is that protein cures everything. Let's think about that for a minute. It's a lie. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a lie. It does not cure everything. Giving a blowjob is not going to give me a great immune system. If semen fixed everyone's problems, then every time a man jerked off, he would never get carpal tunnel. Like, he'd never have carpal tunnel. If it's like, haha, hand in hand situation, he'd never have any problems with his wrists, and his hands would always be nice looking. I mean, you know, that'd be good for him. If he can prove that to me, then, I mean, my defense of protein's not healthy, blah, 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 my defense gets a little weak. You know, there are times when I just don't feel good. It's not that, well, I probably also don't want to have sex, but it's not just simply like, you're looking pretty disgusting to me today, like, nah. It's more like, I have just had massive diarrhea for 17 hours and I'm not in the mood. Michael will look at me and say, hey, are you feeling better? If I say even yes, he'll be like, take a shower real quick and get into bed. And we'll make it quick, so before your next episode. No. You know, a lady doesn't want to have anything to do with a man when she's not feeling good in any kind of way, including an upset stomach. I mean, one time I had to have oral surgery, right? And he told the doctor to remove my upper 4 teeth, which is gross and so man of him and so pig-like. But really, I had to get like 1 tooth removed and then I had an implant, blah, blah, blah. So he was joking with the male doctor, like, could you remove the top 4 teeth? And the doctor's like, you know, I don't think your insurance will cover that, and blah, blah, blah. So I only had the 1 pulled, and I now have a permanent implant. Why is this even important? It's fucking not. My point is, I went to get oral surgery, and Michael made some sexual joke about it. And then when I came home from that procedure, he's like, feeling okay? And I'm like, oh, I mean, I don't have a headache or anything, but my mouth hurts. And he goes, I mean, that's okay. We don't have to kiss. I mean, you know, I have to have some dire emergency for him to not find me attractive or want to have sex. And you know what? I really am a fucking bitch. And Michael's listening going, yeah, it's about time you said it. Because I should be glad that my husband is a fuckaholic and he's not a sexaholic. He's not like one of those guys that goes out and a sex addict. He's not a sex addict. In the way of, you know, the men that have affairs use the term sex addict as their excuse for having affairs. Michael is not one of those. He is an honest, loyal dude. He'd never do that. But he and all men have sex on their mind 24/7. I mean, he could probably be taking a shit, getting a boner, thinking about sex. I mean, gross, gross, gross. I don't know how many other things I'll say. It just depends how much my buzz kicks in. But why is it that when men, all men, I'm sure, and it's so I won't single out Michael because I don't want to make him feel bad about this entire episode. I don't understand why men like get drunk, drink whiskey at night, and then they come to bed and go, hey girl, hey, you awake? You awake? And, you know, Michael is a very handsome man. I don't care if he has a fucking lick of head on his hair, lick of hair on his head. I don't care about any of that. What I do not like is when he comes to bed smelling like whiskey. And whiskey usually equals whiskey dick and or sloppy sex if I decide to give in. which I don't because it's a mess. And not a mess in a good way. Just no. Whiskey and sex, no. Absolutely not. He'll watch a football game and he'll be like, hey, girl and me. I've just been bored for 4 hours and now you want me to fuck you. I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, I am such an asshole because, I'm 54. Okay, so let me see if I could rate myself. I think I'd be like maybe a 7 out of 10. I don't know. I mean, I'm not like models are more than 10s, okay? Like normal people. Like I'm like a 7, maybe, on a good day. When I look like a baby prostitute with all this makeup on. But I should be thanking my lucky stars that my husband of 30 years wants to bang me all the time. But it's not like my vagina has a 401k. All right? Like, if I could get paid, not like a prostitute, like an investment, if I could get paid every time we bang, if I had a 401k for fucking, I'd be very rich. Very rich. So that really is a good idea for all you ladies out there to talk with your husbands about. And I'm going to talk with mine after this episode. And he'll hear all about it, so he'll know. But I do think that we should get some kind of kickback for that. Not like in a prostitution way, like I said. Like more like we're a good investment. Hey girl, here's like $5,000. I mean, I'm worth it. Just stick it in the 401k. I will say one more thing. And then I need to go have some dinner with this wine. But I will say that I love so many things about Michael. He's a good husband. Men are good. Men are good people, blah, 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 all that. But it's always a good thing to know that when your husband has bad vision and they come to bed without their contacts in, you're like, I went from a 7 to a 15 liking. You know what I mean? He can't say he's just feeling his way or whatever. I am up in the middle teens at that point. He doesn't know. And I'm so glad that everyone that's in a healthy marriage is like banging on the regular and their husbands are chasing after them. And I'm glad about that. As much as I'm bitching about it or whatever, I'm glad about it. I mean, I know that dude loves me and we're good. Even though he's a complete fucktard, moron, idiot, 99% of the time. And one other random thing I will say, of all the, like, if I was sick or whatever, what do you want to have sex, my oral surgery, all that. If I had died, I thought to myself, would he want to fuck my corpse? And I think in a sweet and very demented way, he would. Because it would be the one time I wouldn't talk and I wouldn't say no. So, I mean, that's a fucking winner for him. So on that note, y'all have a good one. I've always been this way. See y'all later.